The Ural Mountains, a rugged and unforgiving landscape in the heart of Russia, hold countless stories whispered on the wind. Legends of ancient spirits, hidden treasures, and unexplained events have been passed down through generations, leaving an indelible mark on the region's folklore. But amidst these tales, one stands out for its sheer strangeness, its haunting mystery that continues to captivate and baffle investigators and armchair detectives alike: the Dyatlov Pass incident. In February 1959, a group of 9 experienced hikers ventured into these mountains, their goal to conquer the slopes and test their skills against the elements. They were young, full of life, and eager to leave their mark on the world. Little did they know that they were about to become forever entwined with the mountain itself, their names etched into the annals of history as part of an enduring enigma. As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the snow, the hikers made camp on the mountain slopes. This seemingly routine act, one they had performed countless times before, would be their last. What happened next remains shrouded in mystery, a puzzle with pieces that refuse to fit. Their tent, discovered weeks later by a search party, was found ripped open from the inside, as if something had burst out with unimaginable force. Scattered around the campsite were their belongings: backpacks, boots, and even some of their clothing, seemingly abandoned in haste. It was a scene of chaos and confusion, hinting at a frantic struggle for survival. Even more perplexing were the footprints discovered leading away from the tent, some barefoot, others clad only in socks, disappearing into the darkness of the surrounding forest. These prints, etched into the unforgiving snow, were a chilling testament to the hikers' desperate flight from an unknown terror, a silent scream frozen in time. The discovery of the tent, the abandoned belongings, and the haunting footprints only deepened the mystery, raising more questions than answers. What had driven these experienced hikers to flee their shelter in the dead of night, ill-prepared for the harsh elements? What had they encountered that inspired such terror, such a desperate need to escape? The answers, it seemed, lay buried beneath the snow, hidden within the heart of Dyatlov Pass. Section 3: The Enigma of Dyatlov Pass, a Global Phenomenon. Section 4: Unraveling the Truth, a Journey into the Unknown. The morning of January 27, 1959, dawned crisp and clear in the city of Sverdlovsk. The air crackled with the promise of adventure as the Dyatlov group gathered at the train station, their backpacks overflowing with supplies and their hearts filled with anticipation. Igor, their leader, a young man who radiated quiet confidence and a love for the outdoors, checked their gear one last time, his eyes reflecting the excitement that buzzed among them. They were a diverse group, these 9 hikers, each with their own quirks and dreams, yet bound together by their shared passion for exploration and their unwavering trust in one another. There was Yuri Doroshenko, the jokester, always ready with a witty remark to lighten the mood; Zinaida Kolmogorova, the fiery redhead with a sharp mind and an adventurous spirit; and Lyudmila Dubinina, the quiet observer, her camera capturing the beauty of their surroundings and the camaraderie of their group. Their journey began with a train ride to Ivdel, a remote town on the edge of the wilderness. The rhythmic clatter of the train wheels against the tracks, the ever-changing scenery flashing by, only heightened their anticipation. From Ivdel, they boarded a truck, their bodies jostling with each bump and turn as they delved deeper into the embrace of the Ural Mountains. Each mile traveled brought them closer to their destination, the untamed beauty of the Otorten mountain range, their ultimate goal. As they ventured further from civilization, the landscape transformed into a pristine wilderness, a tapestry of snow-covered forests, frozen rivers, and towering peaks that seemed to pierce the very sky. The air grew colder, crisper, carrying the scent of pine needles and the promise of adventure. Their initial days on the trail were marked by a sense of camaraderie and shared purpose. They moved with the confidence of experienced hikers, their bodies accustomed to the demands of the terrain, their spirits buoyed by the breathtaking scenery that unfolded around them. They skied through dense forests, their breath forming clouds in the frigid air, the only sound the gentle crunch of snow beneath their skis, and their laughter echoing through the trees. They navigated frozen rivers, their ice axes ringing out as they tested the strength of the ice, their movements a symphony of precision and trust. At night, they huddled around crackling campfires, the flames casting dancing shadows on their faces as they shared stories, laughter, and steaming mugs of tea. They marveled at the brilliance of the star-filled sky, a celestial display rarely seen from the city, feeling a sense of awe and insignificance in the face of such vastness. These were the moments that cemented their bond, forging memories that would forever link their fates. They were living their dream, challenging themselves against the backdrop of nature's grandeur, unaware that their adventure was about to take a sinister turn. As the group ventured deeper into the Ural Mountains, an unexpected detour took them off their planned route. The terrain became more treacherous, and the weather, increasingly unforgiving. Yet they pressed on, unaware that this deviation would lead them into the heart of mystery and tragedy. The campsite they chose was on the slopes of Kholat Syakhl, which translates to Dead Mountain in the local Mansi language. The name itself was a harbinger of the darkness to come, but the group, in high spirits, paid little heed to the ominous connotation. On their last day, something changed. The atmosphere grew heavy, almost tangible, with a sense of foreboding. The once jovial group now found themselves enveloped in an unspoken tension. It was as if the mountain itself was holding its breath, waiting for the inevitable. As the Dyatlov group ascended the slopes of Kholat Syakhl, a palpable shift occurred in the atmosphere. The once jovial mood, fueled by the thrill of the adventure, began to dissipate, replaced by an undercurrent of unease that settled over them like a chilling fog. The mountain, known to the indigenous Mansi people as Dead Mountain, seemed to exude an oppressive presence, its snow-laden slopes holding secrets whispered on the wind. The laughter that once echoed through the trees grew hushed, replaced by a strained silence punctuated only by the crunch of snow beneath their skis and the heavy breaths of exertion. Even the most experienced hikers among them couldn't shake off the feeling that they were being watched, that unseen eyes followed their every move from the shadows of the surrounding forest. Entries in their diaries, once filled with cheerful anecdotes and observations about the stunning scenery, took on a darker tone. Yuri Yudin, who had been forced to turn back earlier due to illness, would later recall a conversation with Igor Dyatlov, their leader, in which Igor confided that the mountains felt different this time, more ominous, as if something were watching them from the shadows. Zenaida Kolmogorova, in her last diary entry, wrote about a strange feeling of dread that had settled over her, a premonition that something was terribly wrong. She described the forest as being unnaturally silent, devoid of the usual sounds of wildlife, as if even the animals sensed the approaching darkness. The group pressed on, their determination fueled by a mixture of their desire to complete their expedition, and a growing sense of urgency to escape the oppressive atmosphere that had descended upon them. The weather too seemed to mirror their unease, taking a turn for the worse as the sky darkened with ominous clouds and the wind howled through the trees like a mournful cry. The temperature plummeted, the biting wind chilling them to the bone despite their layers of clothing. They were racing against time, battling not only the elements but also an unseen force that seemed to be closing in around them. As darkness fell, so too did a sense of disorientation and confusion. Familiar landmarks seemed to shift and disappear, and even their compasses behaved erratically, their needles spinning wildly, as if influenced by an unseen force. The hikers, seasoned outdoorsmen who prided themselves on their navigation skills, found themselves struggling to maintain their bearings, their usually reliable instincts failing them in the face of the mountain's strange power. They were lost, not just physically, but also mentally, their minds playing tricks on them as the darkness tightened its grip. Section 2. The decision to camp a race against time. Section 3. The mystery of the last photo, a haunting image. Section 4. Silence descends, no signal from the mountain. Section 5. Growing concern, the search party begins. Section 6. A glimmer of hope, the abandoned campsite. Section 7. Unsettling discoveries, signs of a frantic struggle. Section 8. The tent ripped open from within. Section 9. Footprints in the snow, a desperate flight. Weeks turned into an agonizing wait for the families of the missing hikers, their hopes dwindling with each passing day. The search parties, comprised of experienced mountaineers and military personnel, faced a daunting task, combing through a vast and unforgiving wilderness, their efforts hampered by treacherous conditions and the ever-present threat of avalanches. But their determination never wavered, fueled by a glimmer of hope and the need to bring closure to the families who clung to the possibility of a miracle. Then, on February 26th, almost a month after the hikers' last communication, a breakthrough came, a discovery that would shatter the fragile hope and plunge the investigation into the depths of a chilling mystery. A search team, led by a Mansi hunter named Stepan Nikolaevich, stumbled upon a macabre site near the edge of the tree line, a short distance from the remnants of a makeshift fire. Partially buried in the snow, their bodies contorted in unnatural positions, lay two of the missing hikers, Yuri Krivonashenko and Yuri Doroshenko. Their clothing, torn and shredded, offered little protection from the relentless cold, their exposed skin bearing the telltale signs of frostbite, a mosaic of white and blue against the stark whiteness of the snow. The sight sent a collective shudder through the search party, a chilling premonition of the horrors that awaited them. The men's faces, frozen in a silent scream, spoke of a terror beyond comprehension, their eyes wide with a primal fear that seemed to reach out from beyond the grave. Their hands, scraped and bloodied, suggested a desperate struggle, their fingers contorted as if clawing at the unforgiving snow in a futile attempt to escape an unseen force. Near the bodies lay the remnants of a hastily built fire, its charred branches a testament to their desperate attempt to stave off the cold, a beacon of hope extinguished by the icy grip of death. As the initial shock subsided, the gravity of the situation settled over the search party. They had found two of the missing hikers, but the circumstances of their deaths only deepened the mystery. What had driven these experienced outdoorsmen to abandon their tent and flee into the freezing darkness, clad only in their underclothes? What terror had they encountered that surpassed even their fear of the elements? The answers, it seemed, lay buried beneath the snow, alongside the bodies of their companions, waiting to be unearthed from the icy grip of Dyatlov Pass. Section 4. Unexplained injuries, a puzzle for forensic experts. Section 5. Missing clothing, a chilling detail. Section 6. Internal damage, forces beyond human comprehension. Section 7. The silence of the dead, unanswered questions linger. Section 1. The avalanche theory, a wall of white death. The desolate landscape of the Ural Mountains with its unpredictable weather patterns and treacherous slopes has always posed a significant risk of avalanches. This natural phenomenon, a sudden surge of snow cascading down a mountainside with terrifying speed and force, has claimed countless lives throughout history, leaving behind a trail of destruction and unanswered questions. In the case of the Dyatlov Pass incident, the avalanche theory emerged as an early contender, attempting to explain the hikers' desperate flight from their tent and the horrific injuries sustained by some of the victims. Proponents of this theory point to the fact that the hikers' tent was found partially collapsed, as if struck by a significant force, and that some of the victims were discovered some distance away from the campsite, suggesting they may have been swept down the slope by a wall of snow. The injuries sustained by some of the hikers, including fractured ribs and skull fractures, could be consistent with the crushing force of an avalanche, lending credence to this explanation. Furthermore, the harsh weather conditions prevalent in the region at the time, with heavy snowfall and strong winds, could have created ideal conditions for an avalanche, making it a plausible if not entirely satisfying explanation for the tragedy. However, the avalanche theory faces significant challenges when confronted with some of the more perplexing details of the case. The fact that the hiker's tent was slashed open from the inside rather than torn apart by an external force suggests a level of conscious action that seems at odds with the panic and disorientation typically associated with an avalanche. Moreover, some of the injuries sustained by the victims, such as the severe internal trauma and the presence of radiation on their clothing, defy easy explanation within the context of an avalanche, leaving investigators to grapple with the possibility of other, more sinister forces at play. While the avalanche theory offers a plausible explanation for some aspects of the Dyatlov Pass incident, it ultimately fails to account for the full spectrum of bizarre and unexplained details that continue to haunt this case. The hikers' decision to flee their tent into the freezing darkness, the strange nature of their injuries, and the lingering questions surrounding their final moments suggest a more complex and unsettling truth, one that continues to elude explanation, leaving investigators and armchair detectives alike to grapple with the chilling mystery of Dyatlov Pass. Section 2, the infrasound hypothesis, the silent killer. Section 3, military involvement, whispers of secret weapons. Section 4, paranormal activity, unexplained phenomena. Section 1, the unanswered questions, a haunting legacy. More than 6 decades have passed since the ill-fated expedition of Igor Dyatlov and his companions, yet the icy grip of the Dyatlov Pass incident refuses to loosen its hold on our collective imagination. The official investigation, plagued by inconsistencies and shrouded in Cold War secrecy, failed to provide a definitive answer to the question that has haunted generations. What truly transpired on that desolate mountain slope? Theories abound, each more tantalizing and terrifying than the last, but none can fully explain the bizarre chain of events that led to the deaths of 9 experienced hikers. The slashed tent, the missing clothing, the horrific injuries, the traces of radiation, these details linger like ghosts, refusing to be laid to rest. The Dyatlov Pass incident serves as a chilling reminder of the power of the unknown, the vastness of our world and the secrets it holds close. It speaks to our primal fear of the unseen, the forces that lurk beyond our understanding, capable of transforming a routine expedition into a fight for survival. The hikers' diaries, filled with their hopes and dreams, their observations of the natural world, stand in stark contrast to the chilling reality of their final moments, a haunting testament to the fragility of life and the ever-present possibility of the unexpected. Their story, passed down through generations, has become interwoven with the folklore of the Ural Mountains, a cautionary tale whispered around campfires, a reminder that even the most carefully laid plans can be undone by the capricious whims of fate. For the families of the victims, the passage of time has done little to ease their pain. They have had to grapple not only with the loss of their loved ones but also with the agonizing uncertainty surrounding their final moments. The official explanation, dismissing their deaths as the result of an unknown compelling force, offered little solace, leaving them with more questions than answers. They have spent decades seeking the truth, clinging to the hope that one day the mystery of Dyatlov Pass will be solved, and their loved ones' memories can finally be laid to rest. The Dyatlov Pass incident continues to fascinate and frustrate researchers, investigators, and armchair detectives alike. Books have been written, documentaries filmed, and countless theories proposed, each attempting to shed light on the events of that fateful night. Some believe the hikers were caught in a military exercise gone wrong, victims of a secret weapon test. Others point to strange lights in the sky, whispers of UFO sightings, and tales of ancient curses, suggesting that something more otherworldly may have been at play. Despite the passage of time and the tireless efforts of those seeking answers, the Dyatlov Pass incident remains an enigma, a chilling testament to the enduring power of the unknown. Section 2. The Allure of the Unknown, Dyatlov Pass, and the Human Need for Answers. The enduring fascination with the Dyatlov Pass incident speaks to a fundamental aspect of the human condition: our innate desire to understand the world around us, to seek explanations for the seemingly inexplicable. Mysteries like Dyatlov Pass challenge our perception of reality, forcing us to confront the limits of our knowledge and the possibility that there are forces at work beyond our comprehension. The very act of seeking answers, of piecing together clues and exploring different theories, provides a sense of order in the face of chaos, a way to impose meaning on a seemingly senseless tragedy. The story of Dyatlov Pass serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder that the natural world can be both beautiful and unforgiving. It highlights the importance of preparation, the need to respect the power of nature, and the ever-present possibility of encountering the unexpected. Yet, despite the inherent risks, the allure of exploration, the desire to push beyond our comfort zones and experience the world in all its raw beauty, continues to draw us into the wilderness. The Dyatlov Pass incident may forever remain an enigma, a chilling mystery etched into the icy slopes of the Ural Mountains. But the search for answers, the relentless pursuit of truth and understanding, is a testament to the enduring spirit of human curiosity. It is this insatiable thirst for knowledge, this refusal to accept easy answers, that drives us to explore the boundaries of our world, to unravel the mysteries that lie hidden in the shadows, and to confront the unknown with both trepidation and a sense of wonder. The legacy of Dyatlov Pass lies not only in the tragedy itself, but also in the countless questions it continues to raise. It is a story that will continue to be told and retold, debated and dissected, each generation searching for its own meaning within the chilling narrative. And while the definitive truth of what happened on that fateful night may forever elude us, the Dyatlov Pass incident serves as a timeless reminder of the power of the unknown to captivate our imaginations and fuel our relentless pursuit of understanding.